You're just an all-round amazing person. Tell us about your first book or your most famous book, if you may.
Well, my first book, which happens to be my favorite book, is What I Wish I Knew Before the Age of 20. And I'll tell you why I wrote that book. I used to do some little farming and exporting vegetables to London. And then one day, my foreman mistakenly mixed wrong chemicals. And then when they sprayed it on the vegetables, within 2 weeks, everything got burnt. 2 weeks, within 2 weeks, we lost over 25-acre plot. Now, at that time, things were tough. Can tell you, I couldn't pay my staff, I couldn't pay my electricity bills. They came to disconnect my electricity, not from the meter, but from the pole. Now, within 30 minutes, my telephone went dead because I couldn't pay. Now, the amazing part of it is that this was a young lady that we have brought in as a secretary. We have taken her to school and everything. During those tough times, this young lady, because we couldn't pay her salary, took me to court that I was owing her. And indeed, it took me to court and I had to find some money to pay this person. I was owing the banks, and I remember very well going to a bank to pay something like less than $2. So you can imagine owing a bank and going to pay less than two. I mean, almost about, let's say, about $10,000, and all you can pay is $2. But I was committed, and I wanted to go by the integrity that I've always built over the years to say to the bank, I will pay. But for the meantime, this is all I have. It's been tough, really, really tough. But I can also tell you that it's been great. So out of that, when I packed all my stuff to the house and all the stuff left, and going through what I call introspective analysis, I began to see the principles that I've lived by all the years. And that is how I wrote that book, What I Wish I Knew Before the Age of 20. Meaning that life is lived forward, but understood backwards. It's almost like talking to a blind person. I realize that whenever you are talking to a blind person, if indeed what you are saying, the blind person really understands, the blind person says, oh, I see. The question is, what does the blind person see? The blind person sees but does not look. Now, in life, we tend to mix up the two. People think looking at things is the same as seeing things. And it reminds me of a young lady by the name Helen Keller. Helen Keller was born normal like everybody else. But at the age of 7, he became blind, dumb, and deaf. But Helen Keller said, I may be blind, I may be dumb, I may be deaf, but I'm never going to allow my deafness to blur my vision. So Helen Keller wrote books as a blind woman, as a deaf person, as a dumb person. So he got an award. In one of those awards, he was asked, Helen, is there anything that is worse than blindness? Helen Keller said, yes, to have your sight and yet no vision. So those principles spurred me up, inspired me, and that's why I wrote the book, What I Wish I Knew Before the Age of 20. Meaning there are some things that will happen to us in life. At the time they do happen, we have no clue why they are happening. But with the benefit of hindsight, 2 years, 3 months after this happened, you look back and you say, oh, now I understand. That is why I wrote that book, What I Wish I Knew Before the Age of 20. It's my best book, and I love it, and young people love it, and I recommend it to every young person who is dreaming to become great tomorrow. If you cannot see anything in your mind, you can never achieve it. Because what you think is what you become. If you believe you can make it and you can think it and make it sink into your heart, nothing in this world can stop you. That's like the Bible says, whatever you can imagine, nobody can stop you, you can achieve it. That is my best book, and I love that book.
Thank you very much. That is wonderful. Mr. Dechimi, we wish you the very best this weekend with the conference, and we hope to join you next year. And we'll be working towards trying to bring you to South Africa so you can help our youth or equip some of our people to actually start implementing the program that you're running, which is very wonderful. Good luck with everything, and God bless. Roger Nzaba of the Roger Nzaba Foundation, who's come to the Future Leaders organization to try and start a relationship of supporting the youth, the program that the Future Leaders is actually running at the moment, and also to support the conference that they do every year. So here is Mr. Nzaba. Mr. Nzaba, welcome.
Thank you very much.
Tell us a little bit about your experience so far since you've been in Ghana and since you've met Mr. Emmanuel Dechimi of Future Leaders Group.
I'm actually very mesmerized. There are a lot of people that do great things and they're not even known. Mr. Dai Tumi is very impressive, not only for what he's doing, for what he has as a vision, because a man with a vision is a man that will change things. I've been very impressed about what I've seen. I've also been very impressed about the way they're conducting the work and how organized they are. You understand the problem that we have today in Africa is because the youth is not empowered. It's because the youth is kind of left behind. It's because maybe the youth has no path to follow. People like Mr. Dai to me are bringing those records that were hidden